Hey everybody. This week we have a really cool, what would you even call it, like a purse clutch. So Kaylina designed this. We're going to be using some brass chain. It looks very fancy. And then the purse itself is more of a long wallet. But the cool thing is, it's a little bit bigger. It holds a phone behind here. And Kaylina designed these loops so it's detachable. So you can use it as a wallet. It has 6 card slots, bill slot, another bill slot, and a snap pouch. This is a sample, so the regular one we realized just doesn't need this at all. Or we're going to add some D-rings in ours, but you can snap on a chain, or this might be hard to do, a strap if you want to make one, and turn it into a purse that you carry around your shoulders. So the pattern will be in the description if you want to pick it up. It's a pretty big pattern because all the pieces are very big, but it has a lot of different pieces too. The only thing you need to put together though is the outside shell, and all we're going to do, there's 2 half-inch segments that have dotted lines. You're just going to butt up the end of those dotted lines. We just want them overlapping. Make sure they're right where we want them, and I'm using the lines on my cutting board to make sure they're running parallel. Just saves on trim time after. And we're just going to tape down both sides. Trying out new leather today. This is the tannery Corter. They're in India. This is their buffalo calf in the Bordeaux color. This is a veg tan. It's actually really nice. So we're going to give this a go for the exterior. In the interior, I think we're just going to do some thin wicket and Craig veg. But we'll see what we have. We're moving, so a lot of stuff's packed away. But basically, first thing we got to do is we're going to get this piece traced out, cut, and glued so we can get it aligned. While that glue's drying, we'll cut out all the other interior pieces. Found some mystery leather in the scrap bin. We're going to work with that because I really want to use this color of the new main thread stuff. And I think it's something. It's some sort of vachetta. I have no idea what brand it is. There's no markings on the back. It's not something we use a lot of, but I think it'll look really nice in this piece. So we have barely enough to get this wallet done. So we're going to do our best to conserve as much as we can. And that means that we're only going to give ourselves little tolerances. So when you're gluing up a piece this big, you want to start at one end, get it stuck down, and kind of just work your way over. So you don't usually get big air bubbles in leather because it's kind of porous, so they'll work themselves out, but it is possible. And this is the best way to remedy that. Now this, even though this is veg tan, I kind of was a little sloppy on purpose to test this out. Some veg tans, if you get glue on them, that's it. But this one comes right off, so you can kind of erase some of those mistakes. And then we're going to take the roller and make sure this is stuck nice and good. Once everything's cut out, we can go ahead and start assembling our pocket bank. This is going to have 6 card slots. So I've marked, there will be a top pocket guide in the pattern, and that shows you where to mark to lay your first pocket. And here's our first pocket, so we'll put a dab of glue on that. I just glue the little tabs. You can glue the back if you'd like, or the bottom, but I've never done that for some reason. While that glue's drying, I'm going to punch all of our holes for the snaps on our other side, which is basically you put a phone in it. It's like a big it's a big flap compartment. You put a phone in it, checkbook, cash, whatever you want. And we're going to use line 20 snaps. So we need to pick, I'm going to say this side is going to be all male, and then we'll put a female snap here because that's going to snap closed here. But we have to remember on this piece, on the other side, we want to make sure this is also female because this is going to close into this when it folds shut. So we have all our snap hardware in. And now I've marked off where we need to glue up to, and we want to attach the front of our pocket to the back of our pocket before we put it in the wallet itself. No stitching on this, but we do want to glue it together. Now it's time to assemble our pocket bank. So I'm going to use those lines that I made to install our first pocket. And all I'm going to do here, stick it in, give it a little tap down, and then I'm just going to kind of pick a spot on the bottom. You can sew all the way across if you want. I'm not a huge fan of that, so actually we'll use the 5-tooth, and I'm just going to do one half there and one half there, and that'll keep each card from going down. That's all the stitching you need, though. You don't need to go all the way across. I had a little mishap with the bottom pocket, so I had to make another one. Ran out of this leather because it was from the scrap bin, so we're doing the exterior leather as a little panel on the inside. Once you have the pocket bank all assembled, what we're going to do is we're going to find the middle, which is 8 inches wide, so it's 4 inches. I'm just going to use my grid here, and we have to draw our center stitch line so we can have a divider for our pockets, or for our cards. I'm just going to put my ruler down the middle here, and I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom. I'm just going to go to basically where the buttons are. And all we need to stitch is from here to here. This is a great place to put your logo if you want. I put ours up here, not even thinking, but that's a great place too. Once you have the center seam sewn, it's time to attach everything to the exterior shell, and then we'll sew all around it. The one thing we have to do first, though, is I have just a 1/2 inch strip of leather, and we're going to put one tab on this side and one tab on this side. And what that's going to do is when we fold this together, the tabs are going to stick out in these little cutouts here with tiny little D-rings, and that way you can use it with, we're going to use this nice brass chain from Buckle Guy and assemble ourselves a crossbody strap. Now, you can include this, you can not include it. Kaylina did 2 samples. One had the D-rings on it, one didn't have the D-rings on it. She likes it with just the leather. I'm going to make it fully built so you can see how it looks, but you don't have to include the D-rings. You can just use these little lobster claw clips and put them right through the leather itself. So I'm going to glue everything up and leave corners open and then slide the tab under once everything's glued up. So the first thing we're going to do, I have our 1/2 inch by 2 inch strips. We're going to skive down the bottom parts because these are going to go kind of inside where the pocket is, and we don't want them to bump into our cards as much as possible. We're going to take our 1/2 inch D-rings, slide those onto our strips like this, get them centered, and then we're just going to add a little bit of glue in the middle and glue those together. So we're going to assemble our crossbody chain. So the links to all these will be in the description. They're all solid brass. Buckle Guy makes everything. It's really gorgeous. But we do have to assemble everything. So we have a length of chain here. You can get whatever type you like. We have a couple of O-rings. These are open-ended O-rings. These are solid brass. And then some, I think these are called lobster claw clips. But you can get whatever size you want and whatever style you want. So for these, all we're going to do is take the open ring. You might have to open it a little bit more with some needle nose pliers.
Yeah, they come closed.
They come closed?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to put our lobster claw on, and then we're going to put that on the end of our chain. Then you're going to take some, you can use rubber coated if you want, some pliers, and get it nice and straight, close it together. If you want to go the extra step, you can like solder braids this closed, but this is strong enough if you don't want to do that. So what we're going to do once we have these glued together is I'm going to lift this tab up a little bit, and we're going to end up gluing this tab right here so that this sticks out a bit. So when we fold it over, it sticks out and we can clip our clips to it. And we're going to do the same on the other side as well. So first thing I'm going to do is just rough up a little bit of this so that our glue sticks. that, and then like that. There we go. And now all we have to do is sew all around. And here we go. So this is the piece without the chain on it. You can put a phone back here. This opens up. You have a nice big storage pocket there. 6 card slots, bill slot, and then here we have our tabs. And this snaps closed, like so. And then with our tabs, we can just clip our chain on. And we have a crossbody that is very fashion forward. And then if you just want to throw it in your bag, you just unclip that and you have a normal wallet. So I guess we have some new materials in this piece. So the main thread, their new braided wax cord, it basically works just like Ritza. I really like it. It sewed well. It was easy to work with. Highly suggest giving it a try. This is the, we use the 0.020. This is in inches. That's what this one is. And then this veg tan is great too. It burnishes really nicely. It feels really nice. It's got a nice matte look, which I like. It's a little more modern. And then our inadvertent color blocking on the inside actually turned out well. We never really do that kind of thing, but running out of the veg tan we're using here kind of forced our hand, and I think it looks nice. So that's going to be it for this one. The pattern is in the description. All of the materials you'll need to assemble a crossbody chain like this are going to be at the first link on the Buckle Guy page. The second link will be the pattern. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you with another bag in the next one.